What's up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast. Andy Gunnin here. With me, as always, Jody Cieutat, TikTok, Midget, Mafia, OG. What's up, brother?
What's up, sir?
Busy. Very busy. Very hectic. A lot of things going on. We got a lot of things to cover today, I believe, that we kind of left off on the last podcast, on top of a few other things happening. So, ready to kind of jump into it. Good morning, everybody. It's Thursday, it's 11 o'clock. For those watching live, thank you. Like, share, follow. Message. Those of you that are listening in podcast land, yes, that is my pocket alarm. Sorry, and reminded me I had to do a show. Dude, it's been busy. I got up at 7:30. I had to go to McDonough. I had to go pick up shirts and get back over here. You know what McDonough is like? Traffic. So that's why you got to get over there early. You got to get back.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Nightmare over there. But I got in and got out and decided to have a snack and set an alarm so I didn't get sidetracked. But I had a good week, had some good things going on, but we'll get to me in a minute. But let's jump back into where we left off. You left off, Neil, the last show. Neil's like, your mom and dad breaking up. What's happening? You dropped this thing. I'm starting my own podcast, and then we're like, okay, and that's the end of the show. We'll talk about this later.
Yeah, I figured it'd be a nice little tally into the next one.
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, bye.
No, I had this idea because, my followers are like in that teen to 24 range, and so many of them are like lost.
Yeah.
And they think everything's got to be absolutely perfect and that going that path is perfect. And I come up with an idea, basically 10 questions, talking to entrepreneurs or basically anybody. I got about 60 of them lined up, from bankers, lawyers, doctors, to people in the car industry, people in the footwear industry. So, do a little, I guess it's more of an education that you can come from all kinds of different platforms. Your life can start from crap and become something.
Oh, so like reality. What you're saying.
Pretty much, but I want the concept too to be, I don't care about the lights, I don't care about the camera, I don't care about the prettiness of it. Let's just get back to real crap.
Well, I don't like the prettiness of have you not seen this podcast before? There's no prettiness to this podcast.
Exactly, and I like it.
We don't edit. We don't do any, it's just whatever happens and we roll.
Happens. Yeah, exactly. If you listen to other podcasts, that's all they do is edit.
Yeah.
Everything's got to be pristine and make life look beautiful.
Yeah, I've always said if I have to put all that time into this thing, I don't have the time to do it.
No.
I want this to be a branch, and this thing actually started, organically, and didn't mean to have it, but it happened, and I probably would have had one day anyways down the road.
Yeah.
But it just. And I like that it happened organically. I like that it's not blown up. I like that it's just held its own, and I've been able to support it on my own. And it's growing. Yeah. It's growing now. We're growing again. And talking about that, I kind of want to talk about that. It's kind of funny now because now I'm at shows, having some stupid, amazing shows. I'm featuring for headliners. I'm getting booked at clubs. I'm getting some recognition, attention, making money at this thing, and now I've got people, which takes me back to go, hey, I listen to your podcast. Anytime anybody says it, which has happened more than once here very recently, almost weekly now when I'm at a show somewhere. They're like, oh, I listen to your podcast. I'm like, what?
I didn't know I did that.
I didn't, what? It's like, I'm expecting, I like the joke. I like this. Or hey, I listen to your podcast and I like it. I'm like, huh?
Yeah.
It like stops me in my tracks. I'm like, huh? I'm like, hold on. You ain't got to say that to be nice.
Yeah. No, that's really why when we decided to do this with you, it was because of the no editing. It is what it is.
Yeah. It's raw. It is what it is, and it's just fun. And that's and that's the feedback I've gotten from the last couple people that, and I think I've even texted like, hey, you won't believe this, but just to let you know, people are talking and listening and watching. And they're like, yeah, I've listened to everyone. They're like, hey, y'all gotten a lot better. Y'all become meshed now. Y'all are really good together. I'd
Yeah.
rather listen to y'all by yourself than have a guest. And I'm like, well, we got to have a guest every now and then. It helps.
Yeah.
It helps break it up. I mean, we can rattle around about us all day.
Yeah. Exactly.
There's only so much. The same thing starts getting repetitive. But
Yeah.
I want to help
Yeah.
put light on a lot of folks that are helping me in the industry and put some light on, like Neil, trying to promote and self-promote his own thing.
Yeah.
It's like if it helps you, man, I'm all about it.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
it helps you, it helps me, it helps everybody.
Yeah.
In the long run of everything.
Yeah.
And
but I think people are getting tired of all the fancy side of it. They're wanting to get back to some realistic stuff.
Yeah, true. I mean, that is true. There is some truth to that. I mean, yeah. I mean, some of these podcasts I don't even listen. Like the one I listen to probably the most because he has the most interesting, different type. And I don't listen to every one. It's probably Joe Rogan's because he has different people in different areas of science and all this stuff things that I'm very interested in, things that I follow.
Yeah.
Things that so he brings those type of folks on. He doesn't do any editing other than when they go to the bathroom, which is nice. It's like they just cut that part out. Thank you.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like, it's just is what it is. I've listened to some or tried to listen to some. I'm like, okay, y'all have edited way too much. I can tell. It's like, I'm good. I'm out. Peace out.
And the thing is like a lot of them that I've been noticing, they're talking way up above people's heads. They're just, and the age range that I have a following with, they're not reaching those.
Yeah, I mean, there's some truth to that. Everybody, well, it's kept getting elevated with all these, people becoming with all these experts on it. It just gets, you learn more and more. And I get that, and everybody's like competing against each other. For this top number one. I don't care about a top number one podcast spot.
No, I don't either.
If it happens, it happened because it happened or whatever.
Yeah.
I just want this thing to self-support itself at some point.
Yeah.
I don't have to keep selling shirts and doing everything else to keep this thing floating.
Yeah.
But I don't want to be held or beholden to anybody as well.
Yes.
So there's that part, and we've had some sponsors in the past. So they've been great folks who have helped kick this thing off and helped me get this thing kind of going, to where it is now, which is just fumbled around. But and they've not beholden to me, But I also feel when I do have them on, I feel a certain responsibility. But I've always fulfilled it from what they've told me. We've always fulfilled it. I've always been able to help generate new interests and new people, so that's what they pay for. But at the same time, it's like you're right. I think to an extent they do talk above because a lot of it is there's a couple of comedians that have these podcasts that just use it as I'm above you, better than you, and I know more than you. I have listened, and I'm like, dude, I don't care who you have on. I will not listen to you anymore. That's just. And I don't want to ever get that way, and I don't think I will. But I know it. And one podcast just came into my mind when you said that. And I'm like, certain that I go, you're right.
Yeah. I'd rather have 10 guests that are at this level than one guest that's way up here.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going to do it in the sequence of people talking about, here's what I did, here's what I didn't do, here's what I. And that's the thing, how do I say this? There's not a lot, well, there's not a lot being taught. At one time, Harvard and Yale were teaching years ago, and I read it, that they finally started teaching. There was a professor teaching a business class, like, saying, if you're just here for a business degree to have a job, he goes, you might as well walk the hell out. If you're not able to go to be an entrepreneur or start something new, you're going to fail at business. That's not what business is about anymore. This was back in the 90s, 2000s. And I was already there because I was raised that way, and so I've always been that way. And I became that way even more after working for people telling me what I was worth, and then telling me I had to do more and more and more to the point I was like, okay, you've outreached your coverage of what you're paying me. Sorry,
Yeah.
suck my butt cheek, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and you know, it's and people, and here's the thing, people. This is what I've seen is like they always go, how, why, why, how do I do it? How do I do it?
Yeah.
Everybody's scared to fail. Everybody's scared to step out there. Everybody's scared to get out there because the clock is zero. The scoreboard is zero unless you do something and make some. And there's going to be time before you start making things. It's been a time. I've been in this thing for a while now. It's been almost 4 years in the comedy. I started making money. I started getting paid early on. But I'm now making consistent money weekly. I'm now making a living at this because I'm selling shirts. I'm getting booked ready, and I'm getting booked for paid shows as a feature. And it took me that long to get up there. Even now, I mean, I still have some clunky shows. I was just talking to a comedian about that, who felt like they had a clunky show Monday night with me, and I was like, it wasn't clunky. There was nothing wrong. They just didn't respond, and they were a weird crowd. I said they didn't respond to me. They responded to me the same way they did to you.
Yeah.
And you know, but Saturday I had an amazing show. I got a last minute call on Monday, so I did a last minute show, which is great. But Saturday, when I was down in Florida with my wife, because I got booked at the Comedy Zone Fort Walton Beach, which is great. Got a paid for trip to Florida
to sit on the beach.
Married, and I got to sit on the beach Sunday. I had to pay for that, but we sat on the beach. But even my wife was like, "Hey, you've gotten better." Like she was with me 3 weeks ago up in Ohio. She goes, "You have gotten so much better in 3 weeks from that last show in Ohio to now. It's amazing." And even the headliner, who I was featuring for, is like, "Hey, man, you've gotten way better since that video you sent me a few weeks back. And by the way, I like watching you live better than on tape."
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, so you take all that stuff in, but here's the thing. My point is, it takes time, takes things. You gotta develop things. People don't have time and patience. Everybody's expected. Everybody's at a TikTok 22nd generation. Or if I do this tomorrow, I'll be a millionaire. Sorry, it doesn't work that way. Life does not work that way. And it takes some time of failures and back steps and side steps and can I really do this? You know, and then how much do you want to do it? And who was it that was having that conversation, watching or listening to the other? It's like talking about comedy. It's like there's hobbyists in comedy, and then there's professional people in comedy that become professional and make a living at it. And these conversations have happened organically, literally in the last 5 days. It's like, do you have an obsession? Are you seriously obsessed with this? In order to be an entrepreneur of anything, you have to be obsessed. I was obsessed in sales when I sold building material. I was obsessed with being the best. I was obsessed with making money. I was obsessed at not making mistakes. Those three things kept me going every day. If you are not physically ready to get up and start swinging every day, I mean, like fighting, going out there, going after it, you're going to fail. You're going to be a hobbyist at it. You're not going to do as well. It may take you longer, but you have got to literally be obsessed with whatever you're doing. And if you're not obsessed with it, like it bothers you, it's on your mind 24/7. It's hard for you to turn that off in your head. You're going to have a tough time, and that may not be for you.
Yeah.
That's just the bottom line of it.
And the thing is how do you teach that in today's time where everything's so fast paced?
It's
hard.
It's hard.
You got to have those hard conversations.
Well, it's hard, but you've got to look deep inside yourself. It's like, what do I want?
Yeah.
What's good with me? Not everybody can do everything.
Yeah.
Not everybody can be a movie star. Not everybody can be a comedian, even though everybody thinks they are and thinks they're a Dave Chappelle or Bill Burr or whatever. Not everybody can do everything. Now, it just depends on what level. Now, those guys got to a certain level because they were obsessed. They were obsessed. It was their life. It was their everything. And I was just talking to Liz my wife about this after we were talking about after the show Saturday in the hotel room. And I brought up the fact that, what's his name? The coach for the Cowboys back in the 90s. He's a commentator now. I can see his face. God damn it. He was coach for Miami. Oh, Jesus. Why am I blanking on names? But I can see the face. It'll come to me. All right. So anyways, back in the 90s and 2000s, coach for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm going to look this up because it's going to bother me. And I cannot have a conversation about this without this in my
Yeah.
head. Hold on. Coach for the Cowboys. Coach for the Cowboys. Coach. Cowboys. 90s. And the reason why is because this article I read and this interview I read with him years ago has always stuck with me in my head. And I've always... Jimmy Johnson. God dang. Thank you.
Yeah.
Jeez. Okay. We're back. He did an interview. And they said, what is it? They had asked him, like, what does it take to become a good coach or great coach like yourself?
Yeah.
He's like, you got to be obsessed with it, basically. He said, I'm obsessed with it, and you've got to take everything that is in your way out of the equation and off the table. And they said, okay. He said, I divorced my wife when I was in Miami. He goes, because I'm going to become the best NFL coach and the best coach ever. That is my goal. And then he said, I had to divorce her because it wasn't that so much she was in the way, but he said, I didn't have time for her and to devote time to our relationship. That's how obsessed I was.
Yeah.
So I divorced her because he goes, I could have stayed married. I could have stayed in that relationship. I could have stayed in Miami, but I would have never achieved and never gone on to do what I wanted to do. And I knew to go do what I needed to do, I needed to be by myself because this thing was 24/7, 365. No ins, no outs. It's this and this only. And a lot of people gave me some back, like, oh, arrogant asshole. And then I stepped back and I've always looked at it. I was like, no, he knew what he wanted. He knows what he wanted.
Yeah.
And he knew to get that, he needed everything out of his way that he couldn't. Now, he could have said, I kept her in my life. She just have to deal with what little bit of time I had.
Yeah.
And then that's
and what kind of marriage would that have been?
Yeah, what kind of marriage would that have been? He goes, it would have failed anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
So me and Liz were talking about that. I was like, well, when we got married, I told you no kids because we've already had kids. You got a daughter. My kids are older. I don't want that. I want to have a relationship with you, build a life, this second life in my 40s of what I want to do. And this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that you're going to be in my way. I want you a part of this. You're going to be a part of this.
Yeah.
Come hell or high water.
Yeah.
I know that. I've already put that in perspective, and that's that's why we're here.
What a good thing is, like with what she does, she can travel, and it works out.
And my goal is to get to the point where she's working for me and she walks away from that business.
Yeah.
That's the goal. That's the end goal, where she's working for me and managing my stuff and me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I can just keep trucking and going forward and not have to worry about the money, the details, the bookings, and all that stuff. She's handling all that.
Yeah.
So that's the goal.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. A lot of people don't put goals in perspective and expectations.
Yeah.
And people don't understand how to have expectations. Everybody wants it now. People don't know how to set goals. Like right now, I was just thinking about today on the way from McDonough over here. I was like, all right, what's my goals for next year?
Yeah.
We are still in 2023. I've hit all my goals I set for this year so far.
Yeah.
Numbers wise, I believe. I haven't really gone back and counted, and I don't do that until towards the end of the year. I don't want to kind of jinx myself, so to speak. But I know in my head, I was like, man, I have really hit all my goals for the year.
Yeah.
I've already done it, and we're already here in May, which is great because everything's cream cheese. Let's just see how far we can go with this puppy. So I'm already thinking, like, what's my goals for next year? Well, the goal is to keep this thing going the way it's going.
Yeah.
And let's see if we can amp it up a little bit more. Let's amp it up by 20%. I'm already thinking ahead in what those goals will be. And people don't know how to do that. Kids don't know how to. It's right now what's in their face. They they can't look back and go, God, last year was a failure. What did I do wrong?
And that's where I was coming with this was, it doesn't matter your background. I mean, I've got some people that I'm going to talk to that was druggies, had nothing, lost everything. But they had that mentality to push past that and get to that level. And like you said, it did not happen overnight.
No, it didn't happen overnight. But they have a reason. They had something that put that on the burner. Like, I don't want to go back to that.
Yes, exactly.
That's the kind of way I was thinking about. I was talking to a comedian. It's like, it's like, hey, just remember that clunky show. Just remember this. And just remember, you don't want to go back to that. That's what scares me to death. That's what keeps me moving and motivated when I have a clunky show. It's like, this show is still way better than what you were doing a year and a half ago, not getting booked work all the time. It was here and there. I don't want to go back to that. That scares me to death. I don't want to go back to that. I don't want to go back to where I'm not getting booked and having paid shows every week.
Yeah.
That's what scares me, and that's what drives me.
But the
So
good thing is he come to you and said something, so you could go to him and say something, and then you both figure out, okay, what really wasn't us. That does help you move forward.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, people want to hold stuff to themselves and not push it out there, you know, but they want that instant gratification.
Yeah, it's because it's and you know and people put a lot of we the problem is that we're putting too much. We have put too much instant gratification and too many other things as this makes me something and somebody versus you feeling that yourself.
For $99, I can make you a TikTok star.
Yeah, $99 I can make you to. $99 I get you that. Oh, I need 1 million followers. Now I got 1 million followers. I'm somebody. You know, you're still nobody when you walk away.
Yes.
You put the app down. I don't know who you are for Adam.
Yeah.
Most of the time.
Yeah, exactly.
There are people in there's got 19 million followers, and I'm like, who is this person? I didn't never recognize them, and they're out here thinking they're somebody, and I'm like, don't know who you are. Still a lot of people. It's great that you have 19 million. High five. Good job. Proud of you. You put a lot.
But if you ain't doing something with that, what's the point?
Yeah. What are you doing with that? What are you going to do with that?
That's why I was sitting there thinking with the podcast and all that was I've got the 2.5 million followers, and what do you do with it? There needs to be something that you're doing positive with this.
Yeah, I mean, you've always got to be thinking these are just tools, and the tools can be taken away tomorrow, like we have figured out and found out very abruptly, like for no reason. Like I was pressure washing the last 2 days the pool. I'm a little sore and wore out from that right now, to be honest. But physical labor is not my thing. Anyways, I just turned it on live and put it out there for me pressure washing just to screw with the algorithm. Yeah. Because, you know, everything I do gets shut down or kicked to the curb or flagged or somebody reports it just to go, let's fuck with him. Let's keep him out. You know, I'm like, so I just sat there and did that just to screw with it. And I was like, I really don't care about this. I really did zero care about this. Yeah. But because, and me and some headliners have talked about this reason, but because these clubs and the society now of instant gratification look at this as he's not bookable because he doesn't have but X number of followers. And I'm actually talking to a headliner who has several million followers on TikTok and almost 1 million or so on Facebook. And I'm trying to help them get booked here in Atlanta. I'm trying to kind of bridge the gap. And we were talking, and it's like, and we were talking about bookers and clubs and how hard which ones are to get in and this and that and which ones, you know, or have a better chance at that kind of stuff. And then I brought up, and unless you have 1 million, 2 million followers on something, you're screwed. And they were like, you are exactly correct. Yeah.
Which is sad.
Which is sad because, and another comedian I'm sitting across from who's been doing comedy for 30 years, who's hilarious, who's amazing, and sitting there telling me, I can't get booked at this club because I don't have, but if I have 1 million, 2 million followers on TikTok or something, they'll let me in. And that is and that's a sad thing. It's a sad thing.
Yeah.
Sad thing.
Yeah, it's definitely, and where do you go from now? Because now you've already got this level that you're wanting to be at.
Right.
So how far above that you got to go?
Oh man, you know that's where that's been my whole goal. So that's what pissed me off. That's what got me, you know, really after this thing hard this year. It's like I'm gonna be the best mother freaking feature I can be. Which means I got to get out there and on the road and do this, which I am. Yeah. And I'm getting better. And the fact that my wife is seeing it and saying stuff, you know, headliners, these boogers are like, man, you're getting better. You're getting a whole lot better.
It's the thing of with you getting as many shows as you're getting, that right there shows what you're doing.
Right. And, you know, that's why I'm not worried about the 19,000 followers. That's why I'm not worried about 1 million followers. I can focus my energy on that, but then how good am I going to be on stage? Yeah. My thing is I want to be so strong on stage that eventually when I turn my focus back onto maybe some followers or transitions into more followers that will help me, that's fine.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a tool. It's just going to be a thing. But I'm tired of focusing my energy on that. I am focusing my energy on being the best damn performer. When you hand me the microphone and they bring me up, whether I'm up there 25, 30 minutes, it's going to be a damn good ride.
Yeah.
And I'm going to give everybody a run for their money on the show and give everybody a run for the money in the audience. And hopefully they'll all like it and they'll come buy shirts, high five me, and then they'll follow me. And then that's fine. The old way, the organic way.
Yes, exactly.
Because that's my biggest fear. Because there's a lot of people who's got something million followers. Like, I could get you booked and us booked on a show right now because of your 2.5 million followers.
Yeah.
At a club.
Yeah.
That they would probably pass on me originally because I don't have that.
Yeah.
But the question is, what show does Jody have to go up there with?
I can just wave.
I can go up there and run the table for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Or we go up there together and do a live podcast would be about the only best thing for both of us in that scenario. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because I know the fact that, hey, you have me, I'm going to be way stronger than you right now standing up there on that stage.
Yeah.
But you've got the 2.5 million followers. They're going to put you on there because you've got a likelihood because you're probably going to sell tickets and they're going to give you at least one shot for one night to see how it goes.
Yeah.
But
the problem is they give you that one shot and you bomb it, that spreads.
You're allowed to bomb, though. You're allowed to have a bad show. And I've seen these gals and guys and folks have shows and not do well. And I'm like, God, that's a horrible show. But they still like them. They still follow them. It's just like people haven't stopped coming to see me from my first show that I did 3-4 years ago. I still get some people. I still can't get half the people that have not seen me to come out.
Yeah.
So, that's, and that's where you get to this point where you got to be a draw. What's the draw? So I'm creating the draw naturally just by being, and plus features. It's hard to be a feature because you've got to be good enough to the point where because the clubs aren't offering features, aren't handling features, headliners are bringing their own, that you connect with enough headliners that they let you feature for them and bring you on the road. And that's how you get into a lot of these clubs to be able to do, here's what I can do, here's who I am, to see if they'll eventually bring you back as a headliner down the road. I'm not a headliner. I'm not saying I want to be booked as a headliner. I'm not, even though I'm headlining this week at Seneca Theater in Seneca, South Carolina. This Friday. Go ahead.
But it goes back to the thing of how long did that take? It didn't happen overnight.
No, it didn't happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight.
Exactly.
Unless you're on TikTok and your shit goes 10,000, 11,000 followers.
Yeah.
That can happen. That's what everybody, and I hate when somebody says, oh, I've got a video that went viral. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
I hate when that is said. It still bothers. Like, oh, I had a video that went viral. Okay. Good for you. High five.
Yeah.
So that makes you somebody. And that's what I know that's probably what you're saying here is that unless you go viral, you're nobody or something like that.
Yeah.
That's the generation. That's what these kids are being taught that have grown up with nothing but internet. We didn't grow up with the internet. We didn't grow up with all this stuff. They have, and so they put their whole value in this going viral thing. And if I don't go viral all the time and constantly have the blah, 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 blah.
Well, it's like when I looked into it last year, it was less than 1% of TikTok accounts was over 1 million followers. So with me having 2.5, I'm in that 1%. I'm royalty. But what am I getting from it? You're not really getting much from it.
What are you getting from it?
I don't know. I'm still figuring that one out. I mean, I've gotten enough where it pays bills. I've gotten enough where we can live, but the whole, you're famous thing that kids have nowadays, I should be having millions in the bank by their standard. Unless I charge them $99 to tell them how to get followers.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Yeah. And you've got to have something outside of this. You got to have something. The podcast is a tool. This is a tool.
Yes.
We get in here and talk about the week, what's going on, frustrations, and I do get some joke ideas out of this sometimes.
Yeah.
And and I get some entertainment value. I get entertainment value. I wouldn't do this if it wasn't fun.
Yeah, exactly.
And I wasn't benefiting from it and getting things in my head and getting things out there and talking about certain things.
Yeah.
Not here to educate, but at the same time, hopefully people follow my journey, follow this journey that we've all been
on.
Yeah. And that's the fun part about it because it's how do you say that?
Chronological.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's why I'm here.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. The journey, and my wife's like, you need to start a blog because you're trying. I was like, I got too many things. I'll blog on the freaking podcast. The podcast is a verbal blog. How's that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, how many things do you do? Like, you can't just keep adding
no, that's
without having somebody to handle it.
That's how I had to walk away from the radio show.
Yeah.
And even now, I'm starting to outsource some of my products. I'm testing 2 companies to outsource my stickers because I was making all the stickers, making all the shirts. I'm still making the shirts. Still make all the shirts and hats. Still make the hats and shirts. Burnt my hand off yesterday doing it. But, got a nice burn, nice 2nd degree, big old burn on my hand. But anyways, I like that. But, and it's like my wife, there's a point where it comes about time because this week, luckily, I've been in town roughly. I did a show in Columbus, Georgia, Thursday. The furthest out of town was Fort Walton Beach, and then we got a day at the beach out of it. Came back. Friday, I have a show in South Carolina that I can drive to and drive back home from.
Yeah.
Is there a train? Is that me?
That's a train. Yeah.
Oh, and you're in. Okay. I was coming from your end. I'm like, is there a ghost train here in Peachtree City I don't know about? Because I am nowhere near the railroad track. Anyways, so, and I told her because the stickers take up some time, and she works all the time, so she can't help me as much. She helped design and lay everything out and kind of show me the path. Yeah. And I just taken it and ran from there.
Yeah.
So, and there is a lot of times when I come home, I'm busting ass to go order another 25, 30 shirts I sold on the road, come back home, make them, get them all made. So that way I'm ready to go out of town that next week. And that's fine. I have the time right now.
Yeah.
But if I had to do the radio show, I wouldn't have the time to do the shirts and then do my chores around here, cut the grass around here and all that kind of stuff. So I still have things around here. So you've got to manage your time. And there's certain times where you start to pay for things or outsource things that allow you time for other things that's worth it. So
and your problem is like me with the outsourcing is you got this quality that you want that if you outsource it, you better make dang sure it's that same quality.
Right.
Which is hard.
It's very hard. Very hard, and that's why I like the fact that my wife and I designed these. We did them in-house. We made them. I'm happy with them. I'm happy when I hand it to somebody. I know it's a good quality item, and they go, ooh, and they touch it, they feel it. They have no problem handing me $20 for it. Yeah. They have no problem. And I know it's going to be a good product. Like these hats. These are flex fit hats that normally sell for $30 at lids and stuff. Yeah. I'm selling them for $25 with my shit on it.
Yeah.
So people grab, they go, oh, damn, that's a flex fit. And I'm like, it's $25. And I go, here you go. Yeah. I know they're happy with it because I'm happy with it and all that. Now, if I try to outsource this, these jokers want out the yin yang because they're marking it up. Then they're doing their thing. Then they're blah, blah, blah. Now, and I don't want to get to where I have a price point that's too far out of whack.
Yeah.
I don't want to be asking $30 and $40 for t-shirts and hats. That's ridiculous. I mean, $20 that's where the magic number is for me on my products.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're good products.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm exactly like you. Like I want it to look good. I don't want it to be cheap. I don't want to feel like they got rooked. I don't want them to feel like, I want to be able to come back or them come see me in 2 to 5 years somewhere and they're wearing the same damn shirt. Yeah. I will love nothing more than people show up 2 years down the road, or I come back to their town and they show up and they have that shirt they bought for me, and I'll know when they bought it because I'll know I know that shirt. I'm like, I know when you bought that. Yeah. Because I'm going from this one to this side, but I know that shirt, Well,
it's just like with cameos. That's why I did the price range for me that I did, because when you look at some of what people are asking, it's like, how can you pay $150 to $300 for a cameo, and that person's never going to come back? I mean, they get it one time, they're done. Yep. I'm having repetitive people come back. because just the price range.
Right. And that's what you want. You want
Yeah.
return on investment. Well, a lot of these folks, a lot of movie stars and people in there, that's their image and everything. They're like, well, you got to pay for me to say your name and image. And I get it. You spend a lot of time. And I've been having this conversation with some comedians about pricing. And I did a thing on Facebook in one of the comedy groups because I got a little pissed off, a little irritated. I'll be honest. And I kind of wanted to throw it out there to the community, but it wasn't, I was mad at everybody. It's, let's flesh out what's going on here. Gig Salad is one of these things that you can put yourself out there that people can privately, they can hire you for private shows, things like that. Come to their house, come to their corporate event, come to their wedding, come to whatever, or businesses they can hire you. And a buddy of mine gets some business on it from comedy stuff, but a lot of it's low paying. So I've had a few come up here recently. And you get a bid and you throw a bid out there. So I threw a number out there, and it was a low number. It was about $200. But the reason why I threw out $200 for a half-hour show was they're here in my town. They're here in Peachtree City, less than a mile from the house. And I knew that was going to be low. I should have probably charged more, but I was saying, I'm home that Saturday. I can do that. It's early. It was an early. They wanted something like 5:30. I'm like, oh, that's great. I could do that.
Yeah.
I'd still have my night off. They came back and they declined my thing. So I was sending them a message like, hey, why did you decline this? Why did you decline this? Was it price? Do you need a video? What do you need? What do you want that I didn't provide? And they came in and they said, no, we found someone cheaper.
Of course you did.
Cheaper than $200 to do a private show, 30 minutes. Knowing, if they're not in my town, they're not making money. They're losing money. So I went on the community. I said, hey, guys, gals, this is about the 4th, 5th quote I've sent out that I am not getting because people are underbidding these shows. And these are clean shows. These are people wanting clean shows. Clean shows pay more.
Yeah.
You guys are shooting yourself in the foot. You're shooting us as comedians in the foot. You are keeping us, y'all bitch about money and not getting paid enough. Well, because you're not stepping up the bar, you're stepping the bar down.
Yeah.
You're underbidding a $200. The reason why I bid is because it's in my town. It is 1 mile, not even 1 mile from my house. I should have been the one that got that and ran with it.
Yeah.
And yes, the next time, if it's not impeached, not a mile from my house, I will go up to $500 to $600 so that we're all in the. If you know what, if I beat you because you had better material and they wanted your type of material than mine, no problem. If I lost it by $25, fuck them, go away. But good for you. But at least it wasn't half.
Yeah.
Half.
Yeah. I don't even pay for gas.
They don't pay for gas. They don't pay for nothing.
Yeah,
so the whole thing was, you guys are not, and gals are just, and yes, they're going to be, and so I let it out there, and a lot of people, and then a guy I worked with hadn't seen. He goes, "Hey man, I saw your post on Facebook." I said, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, I don't bid nothing more than X amount." And he was always, I said, "Yeah," and I said, I was back and forth. I said, "But I gave them a $200, and the only reason I gave $200 is because I live in Peachtree City. It was at 6 o'clock. I'd be done by 6:30. I'd be back home at 7. It wouldn't even take an hour and a half out of my day.
Yeah.
Not even an hour and a half out of my day.
Yeah.
To be right by my house and make $200. And nobody should have underbid me, but they did. So now they've lost money. These people are going to get a bad show because whoever did it can't be anybody worth a damn."
Yeah.
And that's the problem. Now these people are gonna have a bad taste. They're gonna, I should have got the $200 guy, blah 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 blah. And I get it. They made a bad decision, but you got to hold some value in there. Sometimes you're not going to get everything, and if you're just going to do it by price, you're going to get.
And the thing is, the person who undercut that, all they're looking at is, I did 50 shows a year.
Well,
I mean, they were horrible. They were absolutely horrible, but I did them.
Oh, they probably don't even get paid. And if they do get paid, they probably get paid $10, $15 and they're an open mic or somewhere.
Yeah.
Because nobody worth their salt who's a good comedian is going to go lower than that. And my number was so low that everybody I've talked to is like, you should have got that and you shouldn't have gone that low. I said, I only did it for a reason, but I wanted to test the waters because I'm getting tired of filling these damn things out. And then people going, no, 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 no. And I'm like, why am I on here? I'm making more money out here on my own in middle America, going to Iowa and Ohio than I am dealing with you on Gig Salad.
Yeah.
You know
like I said, it all goes back to that, like I said, that instantness that people are wanting.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know.
It's one of those things. So I'm just, Gig Salad thing comes up, I'm going to say, screw off.
Yeah.
The price is so high, it blows their mind.
Yeah.
And I told my wife, I said, isn't it funny that I leave the state of Georgia? I live here, but I leave this. I go, my wife was like, why do you keep going to all these far places? Like, you know how much money I'm making? I'm making more money in other states than I am in my own state.
Yeah.
Where I live. She's like, what? I go, it's pathetic. It's sad.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's like, you're right. I'm like, this is what I got to do. And that's what you got to figure out. And that's what you got to figure out in business. That's what you got to figure out being an entrepreneur. So you got to figure out being your own business and figure out where you're good at, where you're not good at, what the areas are. You got to test things. You got to lose some money a little bit or break even and, you know, put some effort out there. And, you know, the bottom line, to go back to what I originally said, is you be obsessed with it and you be happy and content with it. The problem is nobody's happy and content. And the happy and contentness is being put on likes and follows and shares and TikToks and followers. I could give a damn about followers anymore. I just put stuff up there to let people know where I'm at. If you want to come see me, come see me. I'd love for you to come see me. Come on, let's ride. But it's going to be a damn good show when you put me up there.
Yeah. Yeah. Which is old school.
Old school, baby.
Yeah.
Old school, still proving the best for me and proving the best for, and it's the best for comedians. Period. You can't get any better without going out there and doing stuff and trying things. And that's in life. And that's trying anything. It's like when I started the t-shirt thing, I had $100. I'm going to go buy some t-shirts at Michael's. They were on sale 3 for $9.99. I'm going to go buy $50 worth. And then we're going to put a couple up and see what happens.
Yeah.
And it went from there.
Yeah. But again, it didn't happen overnight.
Didn't happen overnight. And I had to gamble with $100 I had in my pocket. And I gambled with it. I'd rather gamble on me and lose than not have gambled at all.
Yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't take much to gamble on yourself. It really doesn't. But you got to be willing to accept.
Your mic's out. Again. You got to have the self-will of yourself.
It muted me, and it didn't even show me. It muted me for another 60 seconds. That was so
nice.
Nice. Anyway, go ahead. Yes. What were you saying?
You just got to have that self-will in yourself that you're going to do it. And yes, it's going to take time. It's going to be a wild ride. But I believe in myself.
And I am going to succeed no matter the cost.
Yes.
And the no's and the days where I don't make $1 are going to infuriate me, inspire me, and fuel me. And if none of those hit, if that doesn't happen inside you, and you're just destroyed, and you got to go home and cry in a corner and whatever. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong going home and crying in a beer for a couple hours.
Exactly.
At the same time, by the time you're done with that, within a couple hours, you should be pissed off and like, F them. I'm going to go find somebody else. Yeah. And then when I find somebody else to buy my shit, I'm going to go tell them, hey, this guy bought it. Too bad you didn't buy it, and then walk the hell on. I used to do that when I sold building material. I got more business by going and telling people I'm selling to such and such. And no, I'm not selling to you because you said no to me. And they go, what? And then I said, I go down the road and they go, hey, man, will you sell to me? No.
Yeah. And like you said, if you ain't got that fire, you just need to get a 9 to 5.
You just need to get a 9 to 5 and accept the $15 an hour. Shut the hell up.
Yeah, exactly.
And, you're not going to have $100,000 in the bank or $1 million. You're not going to have all these things that you think you want, which, by the way, you don't want. Because by the time you get the things you want and you can afford them, you get it. You've got it. Now what?
Yeah, exactly.
I got it.
Yeah. Woohoo!
I'm happy with it. Marlon Wayans was on doing an interview. Now I caught a clip of it, and he was like, "I got 2 cars." He goes, "I made good money." He goes, "I got a Land Rover I bought when I started really making money in this entertainment business, and it's a '99 or something. It's a '99 or 2000." And he said, "I still have it to remind me because I got the thing I wanted that I thought would make me happy." And he goes, "I got it," and he's like, "Now what?" Yeah, I get to drive it, but now what? And then he goes, "I've got a Tesla, which is my newer car, just to have it for a backup car." He goes, "But I keep that car to remind me it's not the things that matter. The fame doesn't matter. The objects doesn't matter. It's am I happy that matters."
Yeah, exactly.
Meaning I would still do this if I was only making $10,000 a year, 20,000, 50,000. I'm not going to, it's not the fame and it's not the money. So you got to take those out of the equation. Everybody wants the fame of TikTok. Nobody understands the longevity. And I was talking to another buddy of mine. I said, "Hey man, you're doing a lot of things. Remember, be happy where you're at. You're going places. Even if you never become huge and famous. Remember, you're getting paid to go to places, see things, do things, and you are doing something and doing things that people wish they would give their left nut to be able to do. And successfully as you. And enjoy the ride and have fun. I hope you do get big and famous or wherever you want to go." And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to be huge and famous. I just want to make enough money in the bank that I can buy a condo on the beach and financial okay. And I will keep doing this thing. And I just want to keep doing this thing. I don't even want to look at the money. I don't want to think about the money. I just want to do this and keep going. And my wife going, "Keep going, big boy." Because her whole conversation to me was break even or make money. And I said, "I can do that." And I said, "Watch this now. Now watch what's happening. Now watch this train go." And that's what I'm doing now. I'm breaking even and making money. I've only lost $50 on one show, and it pissed me off because nobody bought a shirt, and it was my fault. But there was only one show I ever went to so far this year that I've lost money on. Knock on wood. And you know what? And that's fine. Because I've had so many other successes that even if I have another failure, it means nothing. It means zero. It means very bupkis. It means look.
Well, you take, like if you want to make $100 a show and you only made 50 this one, but you made 152 weeks before that.
Or 400 or whatever the numbers are. They overlap. You always got a coffer in the back of it. It's like, well, if I lost money in this next one, it's not a big deal because I sold X amount of shirts, so I made, so they're fine. And as long as you keep looking, and don't keep looking back, keep looking forward, you'll be fine. You'll be fine in sales. You'll be fine in anything you do. You will be fine. But you've got to have that strength and mental capability. And kids are being taught to be mentally weak, not just physically, but mentally weak. And it does take some physicality to be this way because you will wear your body down. You will wear yourself down and make yourself sick and have pneumonia and things like I did. So you got to learn to be able to walk away and decompress and have things to go decompress. But at the same time, I can't turn it off. I can't turn my head off. I get so it just like you hear it now. I'm getting more fired up the more we talk about it.
Hang on a minute.
Jody has left the podcast. I don't know if he had to go to the bathroom or what. Anyways, wish I had some sponsors to plug, but we don't have any sponsors. So if you want to be a sponsor of the Fat Thrower podcast, hit me up, hit me in the DMs. I'll be more than happy to make it affordable for you to sponsor and be a sponsor of the Fat Thrower podcast. You'll be tagged on every one of our posts, as well as you can also sponsor the show and sponsor me, and then you'll be tagged as a sponsor on every one of my comedy show posts and every comedy show I do. How's that? Ooh, more bang for the buck. All right, I need to cut that clip out because that was a great promo I did on the fly there. Great one. All right, I know that's our last guest. But oh yeah, you can go to if you want a shirt, go to my website, andygunnin.com. You can get any of my Sugar Hooker hats, t-shirts, they're all there, $5 shipping. And I think Jody's back on the podcast. I've been sitting here doing promos.
Sweet.
I just been doing commercial runs.
Yeah, I looked up there and there was a cop at the door.
What? Okay, hold on, rewind. So you got up and bolted like I was like, he's either about to shit himself or or something like you just ran. So there was a cop at your door.
Yeah, I looked at my monitor up here and there's a cop knocking on the door, and I'm like, oh, I better go answer that.
What do you want? Because you were back awfully quick.
Yeah, no, he was looking for the other. We're 24. He was looking for 54 or something.
Okay. All right, wrong place.
That way.
All right, they weren't coming in with barricades about to shoot you.
No.
Serving the wrong warrant, the wrong place.
Yeah. It wasn't like at the house a while back ago.
Oh, okay. Oh, jeez. Yeah, you just got up and ran. I was like, oh, and Jody has ran off the podcast.
He's done. He walked away.
Yeah, he's done. He walked away. He's lying. I'm so glad the weather's warm now, though. I got to sit around the pool last night. It went from cold. We were wearing sweatshirts and jeans a week ago.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, usually by now we're at Satan's butthole. We're right at Satan's butthole. Now this year it's not. We're not there yet.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it?
And it's gotten to where it gets hot, like between 1 and 3.
Yeah.
And in 3 and like 7, it's perfect.
Oh, I know. That's why I was sitting out back by the pool last night. I was like, after I was pressure washed, I was like, man, this weather's perfect.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to I'm going to cook some steaks and shrimp and sausage on the Blackstone tonight because I was like, because last night I was like, if it's this weather tomorrow night, I'm cooking outside tomorrow. Yeah, because I only got one show this weekend, like I said, Saturday in Seneca, South Carolina. If you're up in that area, come see me, and then I'll be home. And I'll be here all weekend for Mother's Day weekend, so it's nice. And then I go back on the road Wednesday to Phoenix, Arizona.
Wow.
I got to go to
It's a long way.
And then I got to go to Nebraska. Yeah, back to
It's right along the way.
Huh?
It's right along the way.
Yeah, I'm just doing this big.
It's good, though.
Yeah, it is good, though.
Yeah.
But we got some more shows coming in. But they're all over the place. So, anyways, that's enough about that. But yeah. Well, I'm glad you're doing your podcast thingy, and I'm glad you're staying here.
We're gonna try.
Try. There's no.
No, no, we're good. I like doing this one. This one's enjoyable.
There's no try. There's only do. There's no try. There's only do. Little May 4th for you. May the 4th be with you. Yeah, it's like everybody was saying. It's like, you and Jody just got in y'all's group, man. Y'all are doing great. I was like, yeah, now he's quitting, asshole. That's always the way it works.
Yeah. 1 step forward, 3 steps back.
Oh, God, dude, that ain't the goddamn truth. Oh, shoot.
No, we're here for the long haul.
I was going to ask you something. There's something on TikTok. I don't look at TikTok hardly at all anymore. Like I said, I went live on there. I'll flip on there for 2 to 3 minutes. I've walked away from, other than posting stuff about my shows on Facebook and Instagram, or doing a promo video, I am literally not wasting any more time just thumbing through things and looking through things. But you had something on one of your TikToks we brought up, or something last week, or something. You were talking about something. Oh God, what was it?
Thug Shaker.
Yeah, what is that?
If you look up,
what is that about? What is that about? I don't even understand.
There's a nude barber named Brandon the Barber or something, and he does music, and he created this dance where you shake yourself.
Okay.
And that's what they wanted me to do. So I shook my noodle.
Okay.
Well, I shook noodles.
Oh, noodles. Oh, okay. Yeah. That's right. I saw you step in front of the thing, and you shook a box, some noodles.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what that's about. See, that alone tells me I'm staying off TikTok for a good reason. Yeah. I'm not wasting my time knowing what the noodle shaker guy is.
And then they wanted me to shake my Johnson.
Oh, is that why you posted a thing on Facebook about Johnson? Something Johnsonville?
I contacted Johnsonville. Yeah. Okay. They don't want to do it though.
Of course not.
So I'm gonna do it. I'm just gonna block the logo out.
They're not gonna do anything with dudes and wieners. Yeah. They've learned enough from Bud Light. They have learned enough from Bud Light. Dudes.
I said, no, I'll do the video. I'll just block y'all's logo out. They're like, that's great.
They're like, we're good, bro. We're good.
Yeah.
We don't want to get canceled too.
They were like, thank you for asking us, though. We really appreciate that.
Yeah. But we don't have time to lose money on sausages. We don't need sausages sitting around. Bud Light can have their day in the sun giving away free beer and losing money. I still love opening all these bar shows with all that Bud Light stuff, dude. It gets everybody every time. It's so much fun. So much fun. Thank you. Hey, did you remember there was a 1996 Bud Light commercial with this dude waiting on this chick for a date, and he was talking about she's blonde, she loves Bud Light, and rolls up this pink SUV, and these three dudes dressed up like women with mustaches jump out going, oh, hey, it's us, your date.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I don't remember this commercial, but this makes sense. Bud Light is always been.
Yeah. But back then, we thought it was funny and hilarious.
Back then, it was funny and off cheek and hilarious, like imagining that, and then they do it for real, and
yeah, it's quite funny.
Like all the irony. Y'all have lost and forgot what comedy and being funny is about, and that's what the problem with our world. People have forgot what comedy is about, what funny is about, and having fun's about. Everything's got to be serious.
Yeah.
F off with your seriousness.
Yeah.
F off with all that.
Everything's got to be right now, and it's got to be correctly serious. Yeah.
I'm telling you. So sick of it.
Fun times we live in.
No, it's stupidity is what we live in.
Yeah.
Stupidity. Absolute stupidity. I won't even go into new stuff because I don't even have time and I don't even have the patience to do it right now. I don't have the patience. I mean, it's just, that's why I stopped looking at TikTok and stuff. And I just get on there to see what's new, what's up.
Yeah.
See what my stuff's at. I haven't even posted, I posted that promo video. I don't even feel like making any more funny videos for TikTok because I'm just like, I'm over it.
Well, it's one of them things where you gotta kind of watch it to keep up with the relevant times.
Right. Like,
but then again, you don't want to.
Yeah. And then that, like you and that barber dude, I was out of the loop on. I'm like, what?
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyways, I probably need to do a few more little promo funny things. But again, I'm focused on my material, focused on my shows, I'm focused on this. But at the same time, you get 1 million followers, you might actually get some more bookings.
Yeah.
From clubs.
Yeah.
So anyways,
it's a give or take.
Give or take. All right, I think that's our show for today. What do you got? You got anything new? You got anything else other than shaking your noodle?
That's it. Shaking my noodle and shaking my Johnson.
Shaking your noodle, shaking your Johnson. So when are you going to start releasing your podcast thingies? Or episodes?
We're going to start recording here pretty soon and start in June.
June.
Okay.
We'll be waiting to hear and see what happens. Hear all that fun stuff. If not, until then, go to Midget Mafia OG.
Yeah.
Are you selling anything? You selling any shirts? Selling any feet? What are you selling now?
Cameos. That's it.
That's it. Back to cameos.
Back to cameos.
Back on cameos. Where are we at cameo rankings? I need to know. Are we?
They've now started like a daily top 50.
Uh-huh.
And I've been staying top 15.
Okay. So they do it daily now.
Now they're doing it daily.
What was it before?
They didn't do it. You just got a message saying, "Hey, you did a lot."
Oh, okay. I thought they said you were the top guy at one point.
The one, like back in October, November.
Yeah. You said.
But they didn't have it where you could actually, like, I could go on and see it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now they have it where it's a competition.
Oh, okay. All right.
It's great.
Midgetmafia.us. Or you can go to my website, sandygunnin.com. You can get a t-shirt to help put gas on the tank because it's freaking ridiculously expensive.
It's going up again.
I know. I got it for listen to this. So the new Buc-ee's in Auburn, Alabama opened. I stopped, of course, on the way down. $2.75 a gallon on Saturday on the way down. Came back Monday morning, $2.89.
Wow.
Same place.
That's crazy.
Yeah. And that's the cheapest. I bought it in weeks. It's been
Yeah.
$389, $390 in Illinois and in
Yeah.
some places.
Yep.
And people wonder why you sell t-shirts. I sell t-shirts just to get home. That's literally it.
You ever thought about the Greyhound bus?
I like life, and I don't want to have to murder somebody. I will murder people, Jody.
Yeah.
I literally won't. I'm just
It's an
saying
option.
You
can sleep in the back of the bus.
I would lose my mind. The stories I've heard about people on these buses and the things that go on these buses will just blow your mind. Like people waking up to dudes sucking on their toes, like that dude that was working for the hotel, and the dude woke up to the employee sucking on his toes. What the fuck's up with that? That's the feet finder guy. That's the guy that's buying all the feet finders.
Oh, we live in a crazy time.
How do you the balls that it takes to I'm gonna sneak into this dude's room. I'm gonna start sucking on his toes, and he's gonna wake up and want to let me keep doing this.
Yeah.
What the hell? What the mental? I mean,
that's our issue. That is our issue right there.
Everybody's got a kink. Everybody's got a kink. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. That's a you thing. But for you just to randomly go into another person, and I've heard this happen on a Greyhound bus too. A dude woke up, there's somebody sucking on his toes. And I'm like, what? Just randomly sucking your toe.
Like you said, it's a mental thing, which we have a huge issue with.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Bunch of toe sucking sons of bitches.
And you know, if they did it once, they've been doing it for years.
Oh, it's been happening for a while.
Yeah.
They just didn't decide today was the day I was going to sneak in a hotel room.
And how did that start? I mean, was you sucking on grandma's toes and you liked it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe we'll talk about this next podcast. Because I'm probably going to have to write a joke about it and talk about it now.
Yeah. Now we got to do research.
No, I don't want to. You're supposed to already know this feet finder.
I'll research it. I'll find out.
There you go. Right. I expect that. I expect some information next podcast, next Thursday.
All right. I have my essay ready.
Well, am I in town next Thursday? I might be on the road. Hold on. I'm on the road in Phoenix. We'll talk about if we're doing the podcast or if I'm going to do it on the road. The sound was horrible when I did it on the road last time. Y'all sounded great. I sounded horrible. But I'm still.
You sound like you was in a bathroom.
I know, it was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to figure it out between now and next. I plan on doing another. We're not going to skip a week. I'm determined unless we have something that we can't avoid.
Yeah.
We're going to do the podcast, but I'm going to figure something out for next week better. I promise. Okay.
That'll work.
You're going to find out about toe sucking people.
I'll find out.
All right. That's going to be our show next week. And I believe that's our show for this week. I believe. Yeah.
What a way to end it.
What a way to end it. All right. See you guys, gals. Like, share, love. Don't suck people's toes. See ya.
Yeah.